Hi guys, welcome back to Nico Talk Talkie. Today I'm talking about the all but confirmed number one 2026 draft pick, Gavin McKenna. I want to talk about him today because he's looked at as a near generational prospect, and I'm someone who really likes prospects. I love talking about prospects, and he's also Connor Bedard's distant cousin, so that's very interesting. Um, you know, with this season coming up, there's not too many teams who are going to, I think, be trying to tank. I think everyone except for eventually the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think everyone's going to try and make the playoffs. They're going to try at least. I think the Pittsburgh Penguins will eventually be a team that is going to tear it down during the season and trade a lot of players. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to talk about five teams I think that are the most likely to end up drafting Gavin McKenna, and then look at where I think maybe he'd be the best fit, or at least teams that would be the most happy if he ended up being, if they ended up being the team that gets to draft him. So without further ado, I want to go right into it. I do have five teams here, but I also have two honorable mentions. In order to not be so predictable, my two honorable mentions are the San Jose Sharks and the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, full disclosure, I will be coming out eventually, later in September. My full predictions in terms of just season standing predictions. Going through each division and then who I think ends up making the playoffs and who I think does quite poorly. I do think that San Jose Sharks and Chicago Blackhawks, two rebuilding teams, I do think they take a step forward. Now, I won't reveal how much they take a step forward until those videos I eventually come out with, but I think they take a step forward enough that maybe they're not the number one teams in contention for Gavin McKenna. So I thought it'd be too easy, too predictable to say San Jose Sharks and Chicago Blackhawks. And plus, I don't think the teams that need McKenna the most. I think there are teams on here that they need a near generational prospect more than Sharks, Blackhawks. Blackhawks have already got Connor Bedard and a very, very deep prospect pool. And the San Jose Sharks, they have Celebrini and a ton of other really talented forwards already. So, yeah, I don't have them in the top five. But moving to the top five here, at number five, I've got the Seattle Kraken. I think the Seattle Kraken will be bad this year. Bad enough that they will be in contention. Now, I don't think they're going to be the worst team. I don't think they're going to be the worst team. They've got some young players who, like Shane Wright. I think he'll have a good season. And I think Beniers will have at least an improved season from last year. You can tell me if you think that the Kraken are due for a big rebound. Maybe they're a wild card team, but in my opinion, I think it's the other way around. And if they have a poor start to the season, which I could absolutely see them having, I could see the fresh GM there just being like, okay, look, let's say it's Christmas time, and they're like, look, the guy at the end of the season is Gavin McKenna. If we can just tank for the rest of the season, get him, all of a sudden the organization has completely all eyes on it, and a lot of critics of the Seattle Kraken team, they say that the team's boring. Maybe they lack an identity, and I don't think they're wrong. But adding someone of McKenna's eventual star status already, he's got so many eyes on him. Adding him to this squad would be unbelievable. They've got so many centers, so that their center depth's insane. So adding a wing to that, a top line superstar wing, is that's gonna be awesome for them if that ends up happening. So yeah, at number five, Seattle Kraken. At number four, I got the Philadelphia Flyers. I debate having them higher because I do think they're gonna not be good this year. I think that Torts got the most out of them, out of that squad. Now, I'm not a fan of Torts, but I do think that he was able to, get apple juice out of an orange, so to speak. I think that he really pushed people to the limit. This squad just isn't built, it isn't a rebuilt team yet. This is a rebuilding team that needs more time. It needs more superstars, and they need someone like Gavin McKenna, a true blue chipper at the top, along with Michkov. So I think this would be an unbelievable ad if they were end up, if they're bad enough and they somehow win the draft lottery. Flyers would be so happy with that, because it's been a long time since they've had, if they've had a prospect of this caliber, and they would absolutely be able to rub it in Pittsburgh's face. At number 3, I have the New York Islanders. I think they're going to be terrible this year by design. I think that Matthew Darche is not trying to rebuild. I think he's trying to retool, but it's like a mini rebuild. Like 2 years here, I think the Islanders are going to just like scorched earth, just suck. I think they're going to try and keep Barzal around. I think they're going to try and keep Horvat around. Sorokin as well. But I think that those are the building blocks, and then everyone else is the young guys. So like Schaefer and Eklund and Aitchison, right? Their draft class this year. Callum Ritchie as well, right? So they've got like a nice little prospect pool here now. And what better to build upon it than your number 1 forward? So yeah, that would absolutely just, already eyes are on New York Islanders again because of winning the lottery this past year. This would be the last time they can win it if they win it again this year, unless they're the worst team, right? That's how the lottery rules work. But yeah, Islanders, I think they're going to be quite bad. I think they're going to have a really decent shot here at getting a near generational forward. Moving on to number 2, this is a team that, it's the Nashville Predators. I wish that they had a different GM. All respect to Barry Trotz as a coach, but I do not think that he is the best GM for this team. I wish he maybe moved into some senior advisor role or something, and let some other person who's better at GMing take the role on. Maybe you just gotta learn more. I understand that like he's only been a GM for like 2 years now, but like it's clear that as of this moment he's not completely like clued in on how to do the job. So I think that Gavin McKenna would absolutely like be awesome for this franchise, but I also don't know if Barry Trotz would be able to properly know how to surround him with talent. So that's my one concern. But yeah, Predators I genuinely think will be really bad this season again. I know some people have them rebounding this year. I do not think that's the case. I think that their core guys are only getting older. So yeah, that's my opinion of the Predators. But that's probably what's best for them. Like, it's not good if they just are middling again, or even if they just make the playoffs. Like, okay, that's great for maybe like the owners, and for their pocketbooks. But what's best for this franchise, in my opinion, is committing to a rebuild. I know it's it's near impossible now because you signed Stamkos and Marchessault and Shea to like these really long-term deals. But if you can somehow figure that out, if you can somehow go into the rebuild mode, yeah, that's what this team needs. They need Gavin McKenna. At number 1 here, though, I kind of spoiled at the beginning. It's the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think that they have the best shot at getting Gavin McKenna, truly because I think they're the only team that is going to have like rebuild mode in mind for the whole season. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't want it to happen, but there's a shot that Sidney Crosby gets traded this season. Let's say he goes to the Colorado Avalanche, unites with Nathan McKinnon, his buddy. And if Crosby's going, then absolutely Raquel, Rust, Erik Karlsson. Maybe they find a way to get Tristan Jarry out of there. So there's like, once you get rid of those guys, there's no one left on the team. Like, it might genuinely be, if they can somehow get those guys early, like get those guys out of Pittsburgh early, we could see like a, dare I say it, 50 points or below team. That's how bad this team would be. And that's good. For Pittsburgh, I'd like to see Crosby stay around. I really would. But also, I think Pittsburgh fans can realize and recognize that what's best for them in this moment in time is a full, deep rebuild. Get it going before, like, just don't wait any longer, because it's already kind of late. Might as well start when you have a near generational draft prospect waiting for you at number 1, if you can just secure it. So yeah, that's who I think. Kraken, Flyers, Islanders, Predators, and Penguins, I think, are the best shots. Along with the Sharks and Blackhawks, I think they'll be in the mix. But those 5 teams, I think, will have an edge, and also have an incentive, a true incentive to wanna go for Gavin McKenna. I mean, I didn't even talk about the Penguins, and I think that would be like the passing of the torch from Crosby to McKenna. I think it'd be unbelievable. Lemieux to Crosby, Crosby McKenna. It just, the narratives write themselves, right? So although I would be like, okay, well, I can't even comment, right? The Hawks got their, Kane and Tays, and then they got Bedard. So I can't say that. I can't say anything mean because that would be hypocritical. So, but I think that a lot of NHL fans would also recognize and be like, okay, they'd probably do the same thing they did when Bedard was drafted the Hawks and be like, yeah, this is rigged. Full disclosure, I do not think that the NHL draft lottery is rigged. I wouldn't watch a sport if I thought it was rigged. So, yeah, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Which team do you think ends up with McKenna, and which team do you hope ends up with McKenna? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. That would mean so much to me. And I'll see you guys in the next video.